Yeah, so Connor Mackenzie Clark, he's my youngest boy, and always the mum of two boys. I think that's really important. Connor had never struggled with mental health. He was confident, but not cocky confident, and very open. We'd have very deep conversations. And his dream was to go into the Royal Marines, and so during lockdown he worked really hard, trained really hard for that. So he went into the Royal Marines, and it was just towards the end of lockdown, so they had changed their whole structure for new recruits. Ordinarily they would have gone in for 3 days, which I think is a lot of a lot gentler transition, but because of lockdown, because of COVID, they changed it to a 28-day gentle, and I say gentle in quotes, transition from civilian life to military life. And after 17 days in there, not that he voiced it with me, he actually went to the doctor and admitted cutting himself to get out of training, and admitted to it, to struggling and hating it, and said he wanted to go home. Now, the doctor asked him if he was suicidal, and he said no. But to me, cutting himself was, obviously a strong indicator, especially when there's no background of that there was something wrong, something seriously wrong. And 2 days later, he found a train and took his life. And so that was the 12th of June, 2021. So I didn't get the call until about 5 hours after the incident had happened. And, someone could have phoned me to say the sky's falling in, and I would have believed that more, because I had actually spoken to Connor the night before, and for about 45 minutes, and he was, in my mind, and we were very close, in a really good space. I knew he was finding it tough, but hey, it's the Royal Marines. It's not a walk in the park. For me, I guess it was really difficult to learn that he had actually asked for help, and help wasn't forthcoming. So that's Connor, and he was an amazing young man, and the fallout since losing him, not just with me, but hundreds of people around the world, is incredible. I think disbelief and shock for a long time, and that I think for the first 24 hours it was that this has to be wrong. And I think when because Connor was so far away, he was in Exeter, and it took about, I think about 3.5 weeks for his body to be released. I think for that first 3.5 weeks, I think I almost didn't believe it. Obviously the lack of contact confirmed it, and I knew someone, that wasn't going to be made up. So I think initially it was disbelief, and then from there's so much that needs to happen, organising the funeral. And then because it was the tail end of COVID, we had a funeral at the crematorium. I like to call it the goodbye. And we could only have X amount of people there. I think it was up to 30 people. So we then, based on what the government was saying, the day after lockdown rules were being lifted, we'd organised the celebration of life at his beloved Crusaders Rugby Club, and there would have been a couple of hundred people there. And I think it really wasn't until after all that happened, because you're in that busy mode, that you really sort of, lose yourself to the emotion. And I was a bit of a mess, but working full time as well. So also in a very public job, also sort of picking myself up in the morning after perhaps 2 hours, 3 hours sleep, and working a 10-hour day and putting a public face on. And it really was about 1.5 years after losing Connor that I think I really hit rock bottom and knew that I needed to do something for me. I actually saw it on the dreaded Facebook. It came up, algorithms. I'd probably been Googling a lot of things along those lines, and sort of hummed and hawed, and wasn't sure if it was for me, because I'm not sort of a pity party person or a public, talk about my own feelings. So I reached out to you, and I guess I'm quite philosophical. I do believe in signs. Your name's Paul, obviously. My younger brother, who I lost, was called Paul. And then when I found out Jay was involved, that was Connor's best friend. And I thought, okay, this is right. As weird as that probably sounds. And I just thought, I went in with a really open mind, and I also gave myself a bit of a talking to, because I was strong for everyone else, all his rugby mates, all his school friends, all his, anyone he'd come into contact with, all my older son's friends, the boy's dad, for everybody. I decided to sort of take a leaf out of my own book and, right, okay, go and see what it's like, and, kind of look after yourself and go in with an open mind. I was quite nervous, but then I'm good at blagging things, so I just, right, come on. But very much at ease within a second. I am a hugger. You guys gave me big hugs, and felt very much at ease. And then everyone else came in, and you could sense everyone else's sort of nerves and anxiety, which kind of puts you at ease in a way. You're all in the same boat, a boat you don't want to be in, but yeah, so that made me feel comfortable. I don't know what I was expecting. I guess in a way I was expecting it to be more serious, because it's such a serious topic. And I think, and I can say for the other 7 who were there that day, at the end of the session, we didn't expect to laugh so much. And I think it was almost light relief in a way, realising that we're all in this together. There were others who had lost a daughter, a brother, and friends and husband, and I think it was sort of a relief to, we're all, we don't need to show how sad we are or how distraught we are, although we did during the course of the weeks. And it was almost like light relief to be with like-minded people going through the same thing. So yeah, I didn't expect that. But I also, for me personally, I didn't expect to actually be able to open up and be raw. And I think that's what it really gave me, was like a safe space to be raw, to open up, and it was okay, and to cry, to let the tears flow, which I definitely did. I think what I really appreciated is that it just went with the flow of whatever the group needed. And some days others needed to talk more than, than some of the other people. And I think some of the attendees who possibly wouldn't have opened up, seeing the rest of us open up, then opened up. And what was nice is that because we've all been through the same thing, we ourselves could give advice and share advice as well on things that maybe have worked for us, or yeah. Recognizing, which I tell everyone, that it's okay to not be okay. I feel quite emotional on this one. Recognizing that I don't always have to be the strong one, that I can let my emotions go, and if I am feeling raw, to just let myself be raw. And it's actually helped me to better communicate that to people. So I think it's just made me more aware of what I need and when I need it, and that I can't be, not superwoman, because I'm not superwoman, but I can't be that strong person all the time. So that's what it's actually given me. Yeah. Really good, really empathic and caring, great listeners, but also coming with light sort of attitude at the same time as well, because it is such a heavy subject. So I found, you and Jay, really empathic, caring, and just, yeah, great listeners and support. 100%. It's really made me look at my life. It's made me look at what I want, not sort of running around after everybody else. I've moved county. Not that there was anything wrong with Norfolk. I needed a reset, and that's what came out of it for me. Anyone who's close to me actually appreciate me saying, let's do a voice call tonight, a video call tonight, because I'm having a wobble. I do live alone. And so my friends actually really appreciate that with me. And, you know, sometimes we'll chat for a couple of hours and we'll be sometimes floods of tears and lots of laughter. So I'm not doing that alone anymore. And I'm lighter. I'm a lot lighter. And I'm actually, I don't want to say, because I don't want my older son, Alex, to feel like I was dreading the future with him still being in it, but I was dreading the future. So yeah, people have really noticed a change. I'm actually excited about the future now, and I really am, because I was dreading it. And I've always said 2 lives can't be lost to this. But I was losing myself without realising it. And now I really feel like I can say that and mean it. 2 lives can't be lost to this. And it's not. Life isn't. I've still got my life to live. And I know that's what Connor would want. He wouldn't want me sort of hiding away like I was. And I was doing that before the course. When I had to go out, you know, put that public face on, and then I would just hide away.